Not for nothing, I just sold the most expensive tree here. No big deal. Day one, $450 tree. I just sold, like nothing. 4 weeks, the amount of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And if you live in New York, that can only mean one thing. You're gonna crunch time. This is high anxiety. What do we got? On it, Santa! Sort of narcissist tied these trees. It's time to get a goddamn tree.
But actually getting a tree in New York is different than anywhere else in the country. You see, New York City is unofficially divided up into the hands of a select few who call themselves tree men. And in Brooklyn, now, that's Greg Walsh territory. Today, Greg owns 7 of the biggest lots in the city. But what does it take to run one of these tree stands? How much money's to be made in 4 weeks? I'm trading a day's worth of free labor on the busiest day of the year to sleep in a guard booth, unload and haul trees, clean the stand, learn everything there is to know about trees, even deliver them to neighborhood homes, and sell, baby, sell. All to get a glimpse at the wild logistics behind New York City's Christmas tree economy.
But a history of turf wars, tycoons, and even murder were not exactly what I had in mind.
Oh, the guy got killed?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the whole story.
I take this job very seriously, so I'm starting my shift by sleeping in one of these 6 by 8 foot guard booths. Someone's gotta watch over these trees.
My watch has ended. I'm going to sleep.
For Greg, all trees are delivered before Thanksgiving, late into the wee hours at night. After that, the mad dash to sell every last tree is on.
All these tree vendors are jostling for something you never see in New York City. According to city ordinance, Christmas tree vendors do not need a permit to sell Christmas trees in the city. Just hearing you don't need a permit for something in New York is like hearing the Mets won the World Series. Yeah, I said it. Boston fan till I die, baby.
You see, in 1938, street merchants defeated then-Mayor Figarello H. LaGuardia, maybe you know him from his airport, to win the coniferous tree exception.
Essentially, for the month of December only, you can sell a Christmas tree on any street in New York, as long as you have permission from the nearest business and keep a clear walkway for pedestrians. The first Christmas tree ever sold in New York, 1851. Wild, considering Christmas didn't even become a holiday until about 20 years later.
And ever since then, the city has been carved up and controlled by a select few. For instance, Lower Manhattan, that belongs to Billy Calvoni and 2 of his former proteges, George Smith and Heather Neville. Calvoni used to hustle fruit as a kid before becoming a tree man. Smith is a part-time carnival operator who once served time for impersonating a police officer during a robbery. Uptown is split between George Nash and Kevin Hammer. Nash, a Vermonter, hippie, covers Harlem, and Hammer? Oh, we'll get to Kevin Hammer later. Greg Walsh started out with Calvoni and Scott Lechner back in the 80s, then split off on his own to a place where I'm at today, in Park Slope, Brooklyn, at Greg's Trees.
Now, I'm not convinced that Greg is in fact Santa Claus himself.
I really, truly believe when I'm wearing Santa suit, I am Santa. And right now I'm half Santa. But when I go all Santa, I am Santa.
So, I guess first question, best question here, where do these trees even come from?
The trees come from 3 different areas for me. Right now we're focusing on Canada, which is only like 10% of what we do. And then we have Oregon, which is about 30-40%. And then North Carolina is the big load, right? North Carolina, Fraser fir.
Trees run about $50 for a tabletop-sized balsam, to $175 for a 6-foot Fraser fir, to $475 for a 9-foot noble fir. Add in ornaments and wreaths, and it's a whole holiday experience priced in. Now, how profitable is this business exactly? Well, these types of trade secrets aren't just offered up to anyone who's asking. But bear with me as I guesstimate on this napkin here. Fraser firs are by far the most popular tree, and we can average the price around a 6-foot tree. On a good day, you're looking at 50 trees. On a great day, you're looking at 100 or more trees sold. If we call it 60 6-foot Fraser firs, that brings in $10,500 a day. Add on a healthy home delivery count, spread it across 7 different locations, account for other items like wreaths and decorations, and that's just shy of $75,000 a day in revenue. But that's with someone established like Greg. What if you want to start a Christmas tree stand today?
Get ready to lose some money, I'll tell you that, if you open up a tree stand. The expense is the buying the trees, which is gonna be very difficult if you don't know how to buy trees. You're probably gonna get hurt, to be honest. And then you don't have any customers, right? So the problem with people starting tree stands is that they'll lose money the first year, maybe even the second year. It's tough business. I'm 62. I'm one of the youngest owners out there. I mean, we're old men. People don't want to do the work.
These are not gonna fit on them.
And the funny thing about trees back then was, when we started the business, we were paying like $10, $12 and selling them for like $25. And that stayed like that for like 25 years. And then the last 10 years, everything exploded. They used to be $25, $35, $45, and now, they're $100 mostly. Yeah. We didn't raise 1 penny this year, and I had, labor go up, I have expenses go up, but we figured we gotta stop somewhere.
But finding a lot and holding on to it is a real challenge.
Let's say you're a new guy and you set up in someone's, what they consider their neighborhood. They'll put 4 stands around you, and all their people will know their customers already, and you won't sell a tree. I've never done it. I've never done it. It's a big part of the industry. In the old days, it would have been handled differently, but nowadays, people are so friendly.
And when it comes to the old days, there's one name bigger than all the rest. A man once believed to own the biggest territory and hold the strongest grip on the streets of New York.
Who is Kevin Hammer?
Yeah, it's all a myth. He's a myth. We used to sell fruit in Manhattan. So I put a sign up on this fence. Christmas tree's coming December 4th. And then a friend calls me up one day and goes, Greg, somebody's setting up where you said you're gonna set up. I was like, didn't they see the sign? So I go and I tell the guy, I get there, right? I'm like, didn't you see the sign? He goes, yeah, thanks for the sign. That really helped me. And that guy, me and him are still friends today. That's Kevin Hammer. He's totally misunderstood.
At one point, it's believed that Kevin Hammer controlled 100 lots in the most valuable real estates in New York, the Upper West Side and the Upper East Side.
That was all exaggerated.
In these tales, he was the kingpin of Christmas trees, the coniferous Kris Kringle, a tycoon of mad genius that crushed his enemies with a commanding hand, and all who knew his name would tremble and fear.
Hey Matt, we got a delivery, get ready to go.
On it, Santa. Boss, on it, boss.
Just one look into those blue eyes, white beard, and candy cane heart, and he might just be Santa Claus himself. A man can dream, can't he? Greg's Trees can do about 10 or more home deliveries on some of the busiest days during these few holiday weeks.
Luckily, they got a native New Yorker like me. Where am I? Is this north or is this way north? I'm lost. This is a one-way. Reminds me, I need to get a tree. Off it goes. While I finish up that delivery, I want to let you know about HubSpot's Side Hustle Ideas database.
Maybe you're thinking of selling Christmas trees next year, or maybe you're looking to pursue another passion to supplement your income. This curated list has something for everyone. Unlock your potential, build resilience, and shape your future.
Download your copy of Side Hustle Ideas database now for free and find your next venture. All right, delivery's done. Back to me? One delivery down. Don't tell Adam. I think I lost a bungee cord. How we doing today?
I don't know, man. We need to sell some more trees.
I'm on it.
Which ones are the Frasers?
These are the Frasers right here. You can do this particular one. Would you like it wrapped? Sale. That's a sale. That's a sale. That's a verified sale. That's why I sold it. It's a sale. That's one. Okay.
Like it's gonna last,
Spot back here, but it'll also fall. That's another sale. Sunglasses are off, that's the secret. Sunglasses probably not the best selling technique, but who's to say? Selling trees in New York hasn't always been the safest of professions.
Who's Glenn Walker?
Glenn Walker,
Oh, the guy got killed?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the whole story. I was with him like a week before he got shot.
According to reports, Glenn Walker was a seasonal salesman. Fruits in the summer, pumpkins at fall, and trees for Christmas. One night, he was approached by two men asking him to pay a street tax of $3,000 to sell Christmas trees at a new location. Glenn refused. Soon after, his lot was firebombed twice, burning up an estimated $6,000 worth of trees. In November 1994, the following year, Christmas season just about to kick off, reports said two men in leather jackets strode into Glenn's Hunts Point warehouse office, told his terrified secretary to lie face down on the floor, and threw Glenn on a couch. Then, one put a gun to Glenn's left temple and shot him to death. The police arrested and charged the two men. It's maybe the darkest point in the history of tree men in the city. And it's one Greg doesn't necessarily attach to Christmas.
The story about Glenn Walker getting shot selling Christmas trees had nothing to do with Christmas trees. And believe me, there's no question that I know the truth of the story. The real story was he was selling watermelons up in the market, the Bronx Terminal Market. And he was, not going along with the program. So people didn't like it, and they warned him and warned him and warned him. And then when he was out selling Christmas trees, somebody murdered him. But it was a fight over watermelon.
Regardless, Greg assures me those days of turf wars and territories are over.
There's nothing about the business like that.
Greg's got bigger fights to worry about these days than a rival Christmas tree seller setting up shop in his neighborhood. Greg has cancer and is currently in chemo treatment. And through it all, he is still the jolliest guy you are ever going to meet.
Every day is great. Every day is a miracle.
Through it all, through your health, through just the history of, dealing with all these different people and coming up and what keeps you coming back every year?
It's the kids, the workers. I could just walk away. My son's 21 though, and he wants to do it. And so I want to keep it up for him. And I enjoy every minute. A lot of guys in this business don't enjoy it somehow. I don't know why, but I love it. I love every second of it.
All right, how did I do today?
Dude, you crushed it!
Do I have a future as a tree man?
Absolutely.
Yes!
Great job!
This is a spruce. Well, that was the hardest day of work I've done in a long time, but it wasn't all free labor. I got a tree.
The holidays bring joy, merriment, and loads of ham, if you're me. But if you find yourself out shopping at the mall and wondering how some of these mall brands are thriving even without malls anymore, watch our full story over on our channel. And if you're interested in pursuing a new side hustle this year, be sure to check out our Side Hustle Ideas database. And it brings my bosses so much holiday cheer that if you like this video, you make sure to subscribe to the Hustle Newsletter channel for the latest business news.